PowerShell versus the Unix shell. I've heard some things about the features of the PowerShell. Some of it seems like typical features of Unix shells. So it seems PowerShell includes piping and the commandlets, similar to shell scripts. But I didn't try it yet in no Windows, so I may be wrong. So my question is PowerShell similar to a Unix shell, or is the concept different? If the latter, in what points the concept differs?
PowerShell is superficially similar to Unix shells. PowerShell has aliases for many of the commands you are used to in Unix, like ls, rm, cp, mv, etc. However, the way that the commandlets behind the aliases work is quite different. In an *Unix shell, everything is text-based, so output from one command can be piped to another, but the receiving program must know how to parse and interpret the text from the pipeline. This is the main difference between PowerShell and *Unix shells. In PowerShell, everything that gets passed around is an object. The consequence of this is that piping from one command to another is not just piping stout to std in. It's piping a full-fledged .NET object to the receiver. Therefore, the receiver just needs to know how to handle an object of that type. It doesn't need to implement any parsing of text, but it needs to understand how to call methods and properties, or members, of the input object. In an *Unix command line program, you would write code that reads from std in and parses its information from the text another program generated. In PowerShell, you would do something like this. Calling this code on the command line might look like. You could also do the same as above using the piping mechanism, but you can see the major difference here in that we're passing an object and not text. Forgetting this major difference, I would say there are other superficial similarities, but mostly just syntactically. PowerShell syntax seems to have been designed with the *Unix shell users in mind, so a lot of the language style is similar.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.